It's my great pleasure to have Daniel Nyfeler, Dr. Daniel Nyfeler, with us this afternoon. When we think of Gübelin as a brand, and we saw it in the commercial break, we think of beautiful jewelry pieces, beautifully adorned pieces to wear. Now you're in another part of the family business, which is focused on gemstones, the Gem Lab. So what is the Gübelin Gem Lab, and what's the fascination with colored gemstones?
Yeah, the Gem Lab is a service provider to the industry. So we are in the B2B sector, so to say. And we are one leg small in terms of business volume. We are not as big as our big sister, the retail, the watch, jewelry, and the jewelry business. But we are an important part because we are doing a service to this industry, which is one of the peculiarities of jewelry. Jewelry contains metals, jewelry contains stones. And stones are a natural product, be that diamonds or be that colored gemstones or pearls. And there's usually a certain disconnect between where this stone is coming from until it ends up in a piece of jewelry at the retail desk, finding the ultimate owner. And there are some questions that we have to answer on behalf of the final customer or the industry, which is whether this product is authentic, is it a true diamond, whether that product is maybe treated in some way or the other. So a lot of specifically colored gemstones, they get heated or irradiated to somehow improve the appearance of the stone, and also from which geographic place that gemstone is coming from. That is something that has developed over the decades into a brand almost. Initially it was more of a quality question behind it, because the most beautiful green was displayed by emeralds that are coming from Colombia historically, or the rubies from Burma, nowadays known as Myanmar, which is now again in the headlines, unluckily. These rubies from that place, they are known for having a kind of very intensive, saturated, and a very kind of special type of red, which rubies from other places could not match. And before somebody was paying a significant amount of money to buy a piece of jewelry that contained such a stone, they wanted to know that whether that emerald is indeed coming from Colombia, whether that ruby is indeed coming from Burma, because that's an important lever for the value, that can easily make double the price or triple the price, regardless if the stone is from another place. It's also natural, it's also pristine, it's the real material. But this, the origin has developed into some kind of brand, with all the absurdities that come together with brands, right? Such as that a stone might have a better quality from another place, but if that other origin doesn't have the pedigree, doesn't have the history, then the consumer is not willing to pay the respective price.
And you brought us actually a short video that takes us on a journey into that, if you wish, supply chain, into that world of colored gemstones. Can you tell us a little bit about what we're just about to see? Yeah, I mean, what we are doing is we have to permanently keep our knowledge up to date, that we kind of can do our work. We get a stone from the dealer or from a wholesaler or from a jewelry manufacturer, from a brand, and we have to kind of then look into the stone, and we have to kind of get the information and be able to determine, is this now a stone from Malawi, is it from Mozambique, is it from Greenland, is it from Vietnam? So we are basically doing that by comparing the properties of the unknown stone with the properties from the known stone. So we have a reference collection, quite an impressive reference collection, some 28,000 stones, authentic stones that we are sourcing directly from the mines. So we spend quite a bit of our time traveling those places on a regular basis to make sure that we get on a regular basis pristine material from the source. From the source. So and I think this video that you're showing is a very amateurish video. I have to apologize. It's something that we do, or that our people, our geologists, are doing when they are traveling such a place. So they take us basically to the source, and let's have a look. So actually, you've already mentioned earlier this afternoon that digital transformation is quite a challenge for some segments in the industry, and you brought digital tools to this supply chain, actually in the specific version of blockchain technology. Now, how does blockchain fit within that world we just saw on the video? How do you go about that?
Well, actually, it goes quite easy. It has been mentioned earlier this afternoon. That technology nowadays has become so cheap that we developed a way together with a technical partner, Everledger, to kind of make sure that the history of a gemstone, starting in the mine, in places like the one that we have shown in a remote valley in Pakistan, through some other intermediate stages where the stone gets cut, where the stone gets wholesaled, traded multiple times, by the way, to kind of track that history with blockchain technology. Now, most people might know blockchain technology from cryptocurrencies, which is one application. The initial purpose is the same. You basically want to make sure that you have a tamper-proof, unchangeable tracking ledger of what is happening with some amount of value in the case of cryptocurrencies and some type of physical value in the case of our stones. So we are dealing in a very complex supply chain with a lot of untrusted participants. So all these people, they do not trust each other. So the blockchain makes sure that the information doesn't get changed. And the purpose of it is ultimately to give the end customer the evidence and kind of a verifiable, auditable history of the stone. Where is the stone really coming from? Not only what is the guys at the retail desk telling you, what is he claiming, but that you can actually show, backed up by blockchain technology, where it's indeed coming from, where has it gone through, so that you as a consumer have this kind of confirmation, verifiable confirmation, where is your stone coming from. So what I mentioned before, this you wanting to know the background, you wanting to be part of it and feel good about what you're buying, that part was missing for in the past quite a lot. And we are developing we have developed a technology. Meanwhile, we have a community of more than 300 companies that are using these technologies, this platform, with the purpose to give the end customer that information.
Exactly, and is that something customers would be paying extra for? Like it's been discussed in your case of the hotel, where you say we have to up the technology game all the time because customers just expect that. It's not something you can charge for additionally for this access to internet or whatever, but it's just expected. How is it in jewelry pieces? Would you say customers have come to expect that if they spend a certain amount on a stone, that they would say, well, I just assume that I get that information and it's trustworthy and it's verified, or is that something you can actually say, well, compared to a stone that doesn't have that kind of tracking, we can actually ask a different price?
Yeah, I mean, as you say, the end customer expects it. That's what he is getting used to from other products, such as food, and I mean, it's pretty difficult as an industry to explain to the end consumer that he's spending a significant amount of money and he doesn't get that information, whereas you can buy a fruit or a piece of meat and you do get that information. So the industry was, maybe still is, a bit behind, but now obviously it has to catch up. So I don't think or so far what we see, it's not adding to the price. It's rather a way that if you want to kind of remain in the game, that's what you're going to have to provide.
Right. Now, I think we have a question from the audience once again. And so here, to diamonds, we talked about colored gemstones quite a bit. Here the question is, why are diamonds so predominant in the jewelry industry and gemstones so rare? Why do we mostly see brands working with diamonds and so few brands actually working with precious gemstones?
There are probably different reasons. One reason might be that diamonds have had in the past, so second part of the last century, we had this monopoly and then a quasi-monopoly from De Beers, and they were doing a massive marketing effort in promoting diamonds, kind of brainwashing the world that if you want to get married, you need to give a diamond to your wife, your future wife. That might be one reason. The colored gemstone industry didn't have that kind of massive marketing effort. Then diamonds are also easier in a way, you know, to kind of explain, you know, what is a good diamond. A good diamond is a very clear diamond, so one that is kind of looks like ice or glass, and one that has no inclusion in it whatsoever. Colored gemstones is a much more complex world and also a much more interesting world. And the diamonds also, there's more around. You know, the industry is quite good in telling the world that diamonds are rare. They are rare, of course, but believe me, colored gemstones in total are an order of magnitude at least rarer than diamonds. So there is, we feel that the more educated and the more sophisticated a person that is enthusiastic about gemstones becomes, the more that person might kind of look towards gemstones as something that is, more individuality that you have in a stone compared to a diamond. So diamond is kind of more the standard. It's a model, you know, more the model type. But if you're looking for individuality or even personality sometimes of character in a stone, these people might then eventually end up with a colored gemstone.